Welcome back to the channel, soap opera fans. If you're as obsessed with the bold and the beautiful as I am, then you're in for a treat today. We're diving deep into some juicy spoilers that have been buzzing around the fandom. Specifically, we're talking about the potential affair brewing between Will Spencer, played by the talented Crew Morrow, and Dylan, portrayed by Sydney Bullock. And poor Electra Forrester, brought to life by Linnea Grace. Could she be heading straight for some heartbreaking cheating drama? Buckle up, because this is going to be a long, detailed breakdown. I'll be expanding on every angle, from character backstories to fan theories, past plot parallels, and what this could mean for the future of the show. By the end of this video, or should I say this epic series of thoughts, you'll feel like you've binge-watched the entire Forrester-Spencer saga. Let's get into it. First off, let's set the stage for those who might be new to The Bold and the Beautiful or need a quick refresher. B&B, as we affectionately call it, has been a staple of daytime television since 1987, created by William J. Bell and Lee Phillip Bell. It's all about the glamorous world of fashion in Los Angeles, intertwined with endless love triangles, family feuds, and corporate intrigue. The core families are the Forresters, who run Forrester Creations, a high-end fashion house, and the Spencers, who are more about media empires and personal dramas. Bill Spencer, the patriarch played by Don Diamond, is a larger-than-life figure known for his ruthless business tactics and even more ruthless romantic pursuits. His sons, including Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, and now the younger Will Spencer, carry on that legacy of complicated relationships. Will Spencer is a character who's been through quite the evolution. Originally introduced as a child, he's now a young adult stepping into the spotlight. Crew Morrow brings a fresh energy to the role, making Will seem both vulnerable and charismatic, a perfect recipe for soap opera trouble. Will's backstory is tied to his parents, Bill Spencer and Katie Logan Spencer, Heather Tom. Katie had her share of heartbreaks, including multiple marriages to Bill, who cheated on her repeatedly. This family history sets up Will as someone who might inherit those Spencer genes for infidelity. But so far, Will has shown a more innocent side, especially in his relationship with Electra Forrester. Electra Forrester, played by Linnea Grace, is part of the Forrester clan. She's Ridge Forrester's granddaughter through his daughter Phoebe, but the family tree gets twisty with adoptions and revelations. Electra is portrayed as sweet, forgiving, and deeply in love with Will. Their romance started innocently enough amid the glitz of fashion shows and family gatherings, but soaps, being soaps, nothing stays peaceful for long. Recently, Electra had to deal with a major bombshell, Will's night with Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada. Luna, who's tied to the Nozawa family and has her own dramatic arc involving mistaken identities and family secrets, took advantage of a drunk Will. It was a violation, not a choice on Will's part, and the show handled it sensitively, emphasizing consent and victimhood. That incident could have torn Will and Electra apart, but Electra stood by him. She understood it wasn't his fault. Will was the victim, manipulated by Luna in a moment of vulnerability. The pregnancy news that followed added more layers. Luna's pregnancy reveal sent shockwaves through the characters, forcing everyone to confront issues of paternity, responsibility, and forgiveness. Electra's loyalty shone through. She didn't waver, proving the depth of their love. But as any longtime B&B viewer knows, love on this show is never straightforward. It's always tested by temptations, secrets, and betrayals. Now enter Dylan, played by Sydney Bullock. Dylan is a newer character, introduced as someone down on her luck, living out of her car, a stark contrast to the opulent lives of the Forresters and Spencers. Her financial struggles make her relatable and sympathetic, drawing viewers in. Will discovers her situation almost by accident, perhaps during a late-night drive or a chance encounter near the Spencer estate. Instead of ignoring her plight, Will steps up, suggesting she stay in the guest house. This act of kindness positions Will as the hero, the gallant knight rescuing the damsel in distress, as the spoilers suggest. But why would Will go out of his way like this? It ties back to his Spencer upbringing. Bill Spencer has a history of helping women in need, often with romantic strings attached. Remember Bill's affairs with Brooke Logan or his complicated relationship with Katie? Liam, too, has bounced between Hope Logan and Steffi Forrester, creating endless triangles. Will, being young and impressionable, might be emulating that without realizing it. Or perhaps it's genuine compassion. After all, Will has shown growth beyond his family's flaws. The spoilers hint that Will might even push for Dylan to get a better job. Katie Logan Spencer runs her own fashion house now, separate from Forrester Creations, focusing on more accessible designs. Will could convince Katie to hire Dylan, maybe as an assistant or model, giving her financial stability. This setup is classic soap opera. The rescuer and the rescued form a bond that evolves into something more. Dylan's gratitude could blossom into romantic feelings. She's struggling, isolated, and suddenly this handsome, kind young man is changing her life. It's a recipe for infatuation. On Will's side, temptation looms. He's committed to Electra, but youth brings impulsivity. The show has already shown Will dealing with alcohol and vulnerability in the Luna storyline, so perhaps Dylan represents a new test. If they share late-night talks in the guest house, confiding secrets, it could lead to emotional intimacy. And in soaps, emotional affairs often turn physical. Imagine a scene where Dylan thanks Will with a hug that lingers too long, or they share a bottle of wine to celebrate their new job. One thing leads to another, and boom, affair territory. Electra would be devastated if this happens. Unlike the Luna incident, where Will was blameless, an affair with Dylan would be a conscious choice. It would shatter her trust, forcing her to question everything. Electra's character arc has been about forgiveness and strength, but everyone has limits. This could lead to a breakup, with Electra turning to family, like her Aunt Steffi or grandfather Ridge, for support. Or perhaps she'd fight back, confronting Dylan or even scheming to expose the truth, turning into a more vengeful version of herself. Let's pause here and think about the broader implications for the show. The Bold and the Beautiful thrives on intergenerational drama. Bill and Liam's past cheating ways aren't just backstory, they're blueprints for Will's potential mistakes. Bill, who's currently trying to be a one-woman man with Poppy Nozawa, Rami Park, might advise Will against straying, drawing from his own regrets. Liam, still navigating co-parenting with Hope and Steffi, could serve as a cautionary tale. But soaps love repeating history with a twist, so Will might cheat but learn faster than his father and brother. Cheating storylines are a soap staple because they generate conflict, ratings, and fan discussions. Think back to iconic B&B betrayals, Sheila Carruter's schemes, Brooke's endless entanglements, or even Thomas Forrester's obsessive pursuits. A Will-Dylan affair would fit in well, perhaps leading to a love triangle with Electra. Dylan could become the other woman, fighting for Will's heart, while Electra rallies her Forrester allies. Financial struggles like Dylan's make a layer of realism to the glamour. B&B often contrasts wealth with hardship. Remember when Sally Spectra was down and out? Dylan's arc could mirror that with romantic complications. If Will helps her rise in the fashion world, it might create professional jealousy too. Imagine Dylan modeling for Katie's line, catching the eye of other characters, but her heart set on Will. The spoilers emphasize Dylan's crush on Will. Sydney Bullock's portrayal could bring nuance. Maybe Dylan isn't manipulative like Luna, but genuinely falling for him. This makes the affair more tragic than villainous. Will, feeling guilty but tempted, might try to resist at first. Scenes of him confiding in friends or family could build tension. What about the fallout? if the affair happens, Electra's heartbreak could lead to her own rebound romance, perhaps with a new character or someone like Zende Forrester, Delon Demez. This would expand the web of relationships, keeping viewers hooked. And don't forget Luna's pregnancy. If it's Will's child, that adds custody battles into the mix, complicating his fling with Dylan. Fan theories are exploding online. Some think Dylan is a plant sent by a rival like Justin Barber to disrupt the Spencers. Others predict a twist where Dylan and Electra become friends first, making the betrayal hurt more. Or maybe Will resists temptation, proving he's better than his family legacy. As we wrap this section, remember, soaps are unpredictable. The writers could swerve at any moment. But based on the setup, a Will-Dylan affair seems plausible, threatening Will and Electra's happily ever after. Moving on, let's explore the actors behind these characters. Crew Morrow, son of Joshua Morrow from The Young and Restless, brings soap royalty to Will. His chemistry with Linnea Grace is electric, making their scenes heartfelt. Sydney Bullock, newer to the scene, has a fresh face that fits Dylan's underdog vibe. Lisa Yamada as Luna adds mystery, her performance in the Violation storyline earning praise for tackling tough topics. The show's history with similar plots is rich. In the 90s,